Go.
Is there trouble in the all-elite paradise? Is the most despised, most hated villain in all of AEW looking to leave the promotion? Yes. What is going on with MJF? Hell in a Cell may not have Roman Reigns? What? Roman Reigns may not be on Hell in a Cell? Plus, on top of that, we have news developing here as well about AEW Blood and Guts, their own big cage match event. What's going on with that? And we're not even done there. As what is the future of Renee Paquette? Obviously, she is, of course, married to Jon Moxley of AEW and had a long history with WWE. Is she going to be involved with Pro Wrestling TV in the future? And what is the future of WWE's Next in Line program that sees them recruiting some of the hottest athletes in college sports? We have a lot to get into. You share that link or you stink.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
What up, what up, what up? Watch out, watch out, watch out, gang.
Watch out.
It's a Thursday. We have a lot to talk about here after AEW Dynamite. Hell of a match with Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin. Wow, they nearly crushed each other out there.
No regard for well-being at all.
How many ways can you destroy your body in 10 minutes?
10 minutes. They were in a rush. They were in a rush. How many injuries can you cram into a small box? Yeah. So I want to shout out to all the diehards that are with us. David Sanson.
Watch out, Army.
Yeah,
the notifications are working again.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, there we go. So also the people watching on Facebook, we're now on Twitch. We just launched our Twitch channel. It is super, super new. We are looking on doing things on there that we won't do on our other video channels like YouTube and Facebook and our podcast channel.
Maybe WWE 2K related. Maybe.
So we'll get into it. Let's jump into the news of the day. This is broke by old tip of the cap, don't have the hat on, but I'll tip it to Millennial Meltzer himself, Sean Rassap, and the team over at Fightful Select, talking about this alarming story, which has been developing. This is not the first time we've heard about this, but we've gotten a lot more ideas, and the story is starting to flesh out. MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, is the hottest heel in wrestling. You, the fans, more than 100,000 in a panel of experts, voted him the heel of 2021. He even posed with the award from Sportskeeda Wrestling, and he's on a hot streak. Now, he's still under contract with All Elite Wrestling through 2024. And he's already bragged about the bidding war of 2024 will be for his services. And he's already talked about it and openly said in interviews that if WWE has an offer, he's listening to it. And now he recently did an interview with MMA Hour, a well-respected host of content in MMA and pro wrestling, Ariel Helwani. Now, it's worth noting, Ariel Helwani broadcasts WWE content and works on BT Sport over in the UK. So maybe that's not somebody that the AEW wants you frequenting and fraternizing with. And apparently this interview that MJF did some time ago with him aggravated AEW president Tony Khan to the point where they had to have a discussion about it. And how come that wasn't approved by AEW PR? I can tell you that AEW has that type of policy with booking their talent. And I've talked to talent in the company, and that's how they have to handle things. So here's someone going around that, saying, I want to do this, so I'm going to do it. And now, apparently, those things, those overtures he's made about going to WWE are not just things he's doing as FJS. This isn't him in character. As I've interviewed him, and he was very much in character, but very aggressive about it. And it was fun. It was fun. And I didn't mind that. I enjoyed it. But the fact that he's doing this stuff isn't just him, stirring the pot like he does with everything else. So what does it say about MJF? What does it say about the free agency of, big televised wrestling right now?
Yeah, so according to the update, of course, the thing with Ariel Helwani was last month, and that was reported as well. This is an update to that MJF is said to be leaning towards leaving AEW when his deal is up. Of course, anything could change. We still are 2 years away from that happening. And but right now he is leaning towards heading to WWE once his contract is up in 2024. But also Fightful's been told that they're not 100. He's not 100% on leaving the company. As he said, there are still 2 years left till we get to that point. But, I've always said that MJF should at least have one run in the WWE. I didn't think it would be immediately. I thought maybe it would be after his second deal. But right now, it sounds like things are not really getting any better between him and Tony Khan at this point.
Jose, you take
this is
this.
I honestly think he is really trying to stir the pot to get people talking about him, make him the number one free agent whenever that happens, whenever that comes, because everyone on social media is going to be talking. Everyone in this business is going to be speculating on what MJF will going to do. We have fans right now that I'm looking in the comment section that are saying he ain't going nowhere. We have other people say that he'll do great in WWE. The fact of the matter is that we don't know what he's going to do. But the fact that it's only a year and a half away, 2024 is not that far, guys. 2024 will be here like that. All right. We're going to be talking about next year's WrestleMania in the next 6 months. So just think about that. All right. 2024 is not far. So the fact that he's already building hype to his 2024 contract expiration, he's getting his name out there. He's getting people talking about him. To me, he's stirring the pot. Regardless of what he does, it's going to be great for wrestling.
Let's see what the fans are saying. Delwyn Jones saying WWE would get him MJF TV offers, movie offers, higher merchandise paychecks, worldwide audience to build up his fan base. It's true. The WWE platform is a massive one to go to, and you get something from it that maybe you don't get at AEW, or maybe it's just different, So David saying, I can't see MJF going anywhere. His character would be so neutered at KN. I don't know what he means by KN here. Other people just saying, Kevin Rules, thank you so much, Chris Jackson. I appreciate that.
I thought you were going to ask, what does he mean by neutered? And I would be no dick.
This one from David Barclay, who always has a hot take. Thank you so much, David from the Barclay Center. If TK loses MJF, I think it's just solidifies the point that I've been making for a very long time. AEW needs to at least have talent relations teams, if not a department. I don't know what their structure is. I believe they do have a talent.
They do.
Team.
Christopher Daniels is the head of it.
He is. I know people that have dealt with him, but is it the same thing as like a WWE type thing? No, they're different. They're different
because
companies.
Nobody can replace Johnny Ace. I am irreplaceable. I am one of a kind. People power.
There you go.
Hey, Jeremy, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thomas,
wish you the best on your future endeavors. And I got a hot wife.
People already fantasy booking MJF and WWE. Will be cool to see MJF and WWE feud with Miz, since their characters are similar. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
First feud in WWE is gonna be with Cody. Come on,
it'd be crazy. Hell in a Cell is coming to Chicago, where there's gonna be a lot of wrestling action in June. AEW and New Japan also gonna be there, but they're gonna be at the old Rosemont Horizon All-State Arena coming up June 5th for the annual Hell in a Cell event, and apparently the reigning world champion of WWE is reportedly no longer going to be there. He's no longer being promoted for the event for Hell in a Cell coming up here June 5th. Give me the latest on this, as this lines up with news that we've heard that Roman has a new deal in WWE that lightens the load on him. We'll not see him on live events. We'll see him really just focus on major pay-per-view events coming up here in the summer. But why not Hell in a Cell?
Well, I think I can't remember who I talked to. I've talked so much this week. I don't know if it was Jose, if it was Rick, if it was Sid, but I think it was Jose. We were talking about Hell in a Cell is not really that major pay-per-view. Money in the Bank is. So Roman taking this off is not a surprise. They're saving him for the big show. He's going to be there at Money in the Bank. He's going to obviously be there at SummerSlam. He'll be there for Clash of the Castle. So they're just, Hell in a Cell is just not viewed as one of those big 5 pay-per-views or those stadium pay-per-views. So they're just not going to have the title defended there. You do have plenty of feuds that you could have inside Hell in a Cell. You got Judgment Day. You could probably have a 6-person intergender Hell in a Cell match, which I think would be pretty damn
historic.
Cool. I think that'd be pretty damn cool to have Judgment Day take on Finn, AJ, and Liv inside Hell in a Cell. Obviously, you could have Cody and Rollins be in Hell in a Cell. And I don't know if
personal issues. You go inside the cell, it's got to be a personal issue. It's got to be people that really hate each other.
There.
What?
Yeah.
Story for Cody and Seth, it's there. I think.
Yeah, Becky and Asuka really hasn't gotten to that level to be inside Hell in a Cell, to be honest with you. So if there may not be a women's only Hell in a Cell match, that's where they maybe include Rhea and from Judgment Day and Liv with Finn and AJ. I think that would be pretty cool. Is there anything on SmackDown that's worthy for Hell in a Cell? You could do RK Bro maybe, and the Usos inside Hell in a Cell.
I'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, I think you got a few stories that you can do inside Hell in a Cell. Seth Cody, that makes sense. Judgment Day with Finn Balor, AJ, Liv, that makes sense. The tag teams, the Raw tag team champions and the SmackDown tag team champions, that makes sense. So I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But I agree with one of the comments here. I mean, I think he's starting to take a page out of Brock Lesnar's book, because this is a good play. This is a good play. Think about it, right? You're the undisputed WWE champion of the world. You've been going at it nonstop for almost 2 years straight now, right? You are the greatest WWE champion in the modern era. Now you have solid value. Now you have what they call blockbuster appeal. So now you don't have to have him at Hell in a Cell, because you can have a pretty damn good show without Roman Reigns. But then when you get those stadium, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make any appearances into only stadium shows. If he only does stadium shows, I mean, that might be a stretch, but I could see him doing stadium shows, like just doing stadium shows. He doesn't need to do arena shows. He only does stadium shows.
I don't know. If I'm the TV partner, I'm not too happy about that. You know what I mean?
You make him the number one attraction. Like this is why he's in the stadium.
Yeah, I know. I get it, but I just, like, if you're the champion,
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's a stretch. It's a reach. All right. It's
a stretch and a reach. Let's get over to this story here. This one is interesting here. It involves Renee Paquette. Oh, we'll do the Blood and Guts. I'm sorry, they jumped ahead here. AEW Blood and Guts. This is their Hell in a Cell. This is their mega cage event. They did this, of course. They waited for fans to come back when they did this last year, and it was one of the first really, really big things, I think, that showed they were going to try and push the limits of what they could do when they were at Daly's Place. This, of course, took place between the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle, and ended with MJF, a bloodied MJF, pushing Chris Jericho off the top of the structure, crashing to the stage below. Well-received match. I think people really liked it. I wouldn't call it one of the best AEW matches of all time, but certainly interesting. An AEW spin on something you've seen in WWE, a big, massive, violent cage match. So what is the latest on this?
Good old Uncle Dave saying that Blood and Guts, it's on its way back. If you watch Dynamite, it is pretty obvious. Very awesome inclusion of the Blackpool Combat Club coming to the aid of Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston. So it's something to note. Wheeler Yuta is going to be, if this is a double or nothing thing, Wheeler Yuta is going to be gone. He's going to be doing Best of Super Juniors in New Japan. So if they do this at, we're going to have 5-on-5. We're going to have Kingston and Santana and Ortiz, along with Moxley and Danielson, against the Jericho Appreciation Society. I have a very good feeling that's going to happen. I don't know about double or nothing. The first one was just on a regular Dynamite, so that remains to be seen.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen here, because the last Blood and Guts that we all saw had a lot of mixed reactions, like, Jericho's awful fall, that match with with MJF. So there's a lot of people that still have a bad taste from that Blood and Guts match.
I think also the fans that got to see it were upset about it, because
exactly.
I remember hearing from fans who attended the show live. They said, "Oh, it was fun, but you couldn't really see anything. Like, it was the way it was set up. It was kind of when you're in that amphitheater space, there's a lot of sight lines that are kind of blocked. We're getting a picture of it now that you can see here on screen if you're watching the video. So I heard that, and that's part of the the production usually comes when you're doing wrestling at this scale.
I mean, if you try something once and it fails, you try again, and if it fails again, then you just don't do it again. So I think they should just try it one more time in the arena, make it a pay-per-view, don't make it a TV show, make a spectacle out of it, and I think the fans will be happy.
It would not surprise me if they do this on television. It would not surprise me if they do this on TV. I'm not saying I know that, but speculatively, and here's why: because they're throwing so many big pay-per-view like attraction matches that are marquee things. They've done several death matches now on TV. They've done a lot of blood on television. They've done a lot of things on TV that could have been on pay-per-view. Mind you, they don't have the same pay-per-view structure that WWE does where they're doing a pay-per-view every month. So they're going to have big match like we saw last night, Darby and Jeff Hardy. That match was put together in a matter of weeks. It was put on television and was a tournament match, but it wasn't like on paper. It sounds like, wow, that sounds like a dream match. You could put that on pay-per-view.
I mean, Darby said it himself. He wishes there was build to it, vignettes and things like that.
Yeah. So, but I mean, not everybody gets what they want, in wrestling. This is AEW's in a competitive space because they've been getting hurt and damaged by the schedule shakeups and the schedule conflicts of having to go up against pay-per-views, playoff sports rather. WWE has too. They've taken a hit with the NBA playoffs and the NHL shakeups. We're seeing it tomorrow with Rampage. It's going to air at 4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern. So I mean, if you're on the West Coast, there's kids are not going to even be able, like, if you're a young kid and you're 13 or 14, you're a high school kid, you're not getting out of high school and you're getting out of high school and that show is going to be on TV. So I mean, that's kind of hard. It's a really, really hard position to be in. And I don't hold it against them, but it is held against them in the sense that they have to compete with it. So it's challenging times. So that's why I think you're seeing these big matches on TV in the sense of, all right, if you're going to watch our show, you really can't miss these amazing things we're going to have on television. Renee Paquette left WWE some time ago. Of course, her and Jon Moxley started a family. They are married. Of course, Jon Moxley now one of the biggest stars with All Elite Wrestling. And of course, she became a beloved figure in WWE. What is her future in broadcasting? She's currently with the Volume Podcasting Network via iHeartRadio and also appears regularly on programming content for Fight Nation on SiriusXM. A great talent, just a very, very admirable person, very endearing to the world of wrestling, and was a wrestling fan before she worked for WWE. She started to open up about, the future of something with a wrestling promotion. What's the latest?
Yeah, she had an interview with NBC Sports Boston recently, asking
Boston. You guys say it right correctly there,
Boston. With the return to the WWE.
Did you see them blow that lead against the Bucks?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Screw them.
I wanted to get that in because I knew it pissed you off so much.
In regards to the WWE, she said she would return if the right opportunity was offered, and of course was mentioned about AEW. Of course, her husband Jon Moxley there, and she goes, "The thing is, I don't know what would I do. I don't want to do commentary. I don't think backstage interviews is the move. So I think, again, it'll have to be something different, something that I feel like using my skills in the best way. It's trying to find that sweet spot. I love doing backstage interviews, but I've done that for so long that I need to find what other things I can do. If it's like a cool sit-down interview or an expansion or something like the sessions, being able to talk to the talent and do some great personality profiles."
Yeah, I think everybody absolutely admires Renee Paquette. And it doesn't matter which industry, if it's WWE, AEW, Impact. I think everybody respects and knows what Renee Paquette's about. So it doesn't matter if it's AEW or WWE. Just think of the fact that if she does end up working with any of those companies, she is bringing in immediate value to that company. So, because she's just tremendous at what she does. I actually think she ain't going to go anywhere. I think she's got a great gig right now doing her podcast from home. She gets to be home with her daughter. She has a gig with Sirius. She has that gig with iHeart. I think she's pretty good right now. So I don't think she needs to have anything with AEW or WWE.
Yeah, she just put out a cookbook. No rush.
Yeah. No man. Rush. She's doing well, man. She's doing great.
Yeah, absolutely. Other people saying they love the podcast Oral Sessions, which is such a suggestive name. Renee, always always walking by that, aren't you? Yeah,
kind of like on Twitter last week when she said, "I love the BCC," and everybody thought she said BBC.
Oh, come on, Jeremy!
No, that was a thing. That was a thing.
Jeremy, that was a comedian, and that's low.
I am stating facts.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
I am stating facts.
It is fact because she did say that, but I'm just saying that people are just illiterate. It's BCC. Come on, man.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, how about that? How about that?
Twitter
shout out
got a dirty ass mind.
How about shout out to that commenter from Twitch? Thank you.
Shout out to our people on Twitch, the Twitch dudes. Hulk Hogan was smuggling peanuts in his thong.
What? Well, okay.
What?
If that's what we're getting from Twitch,
comment
I guess.
Of the day. There you go.
Sportskeeda Wrestling.
We should just all take a quick 2-3 second pose with this comment and just point down at it. Just be like,
There we
Yeah.
go. Got it. All right, there we go. Screenshot.
One word, Sportskeeda Wrestling. Subscribe to the Twitch, brand new channel.
Do
there,
it.
so.
Do it now. Do it now.
Let's jump into the conversation here on our final story of the day. One of WWE's big initiatives for recruitment in the past year or so is to focus on youth and also take advantage of recent changes in laws with college athletes and how those same college athletes can make money off their name and likeness, hence NIL, name and likeness. Now, WWE is launching their Next in Line program. This will see them recruit college athletes to be potential future WWE superstars. They've already announced a previous class. I briefly got to meet some of these people. Excuse me for forgetting some of their name at the WWE Hall of Fame. Very excited guys. They were excited to be in the WWE fold. And they were pleasant and nice to be around. These are college athletes who could have a potential in pro sports, but WWE is basically kind of supporting them by saying, well, hey, in your off season, you come here and you come to the Performance Center and we see if you're going to become a superstar. And if it doesn't work out for you in the NBA or WNBA or NFL or any of these other things, come on down here. So they've announced a second round of recruits. Once again, this is all youth focused. And this is WWE trying to make those superstars from the ground up. So who do they got? They got any studs here?
Well, no, they really didn't announce anything. They are going to be making an announcement in June as far as who's going to be part of the actual thing. But this is actually the inaugural NIL summit that's going to be going down in June. And during that summit is when they're going to be unveiling that next class. As you guys know, we reported this a few months ago, unveiling that first class through NIL. And they're just looking to capitalize on this. Remember, to get the first name that was signed to the NIL program was Gable Steveson, and now he's been drafted over to Raw. So this program looks to be working, and now that they're going to announce that second round coming this summer, I think this is going to be tremendous. So we'll see what happens, but right now they just made the announcement that the NIL Summit is in June, and that's when they're going to make the announcement of who is going to be in that second round of recruits.
Jeremy, your take on this. I know you've been a proponent of WWE should focus on hiring independent wrestlers. They have recently. I know you're not opposed to this, but this is a unique way of trying to take advantage of some recent things that changed in the country to maybe find that next Brock Lesnar, the guy you get out of a different sport and you turn into something big, right?
Yeah. Well, again, we're still a couple years away from probably learning the true value of doing something this way. But it's a good way to find young talent early. But again, like, Gable Steveson, you're getting people that have not been in pro wrestling. So you got people that are going to be a couple years away from really making an impact. Gable Steveson may be an exception. They may try to rush him too much too. Who knows? But the majority of these people are probably at least a year away from being on NXT, let alone anything of high proponent there, of high exposure.
Some keen viewers noting Damon Kemp, that is Stevenson's brother. Gable Stevenson's the gold medal Olympian who is signed with WWE.
Diamond Mine.
Yep.
He is being presented as a new member of Diamond Mine, the faction with Roderick Strong on WWE's NXT television. So, he's probably one of the first few names from that type of effort that are on there. It's also worth noting that WWE is still recruiting people and just saying you're in the Performance Center. Here's a recruiting class. And some of those are, non-NIL people, here's an independent wrestler we got. Here's a stubby. Here's Roxy from Ring of Honor that we got, here's someone who has some wrestling experience, but they're really just a college athlete, or they're from judo. I still see them going that route. It's just surprising they're not focusing nearly as much on televised wrestling talent, So, I get it. It's maybe it's cheaper.
And the reason they do it because they want to develop those future superstars and mold them into their vision on what their version of a WWE superstar is. As we hear this all the time, especially from trainers at the Performance Center, when these a lot of these indie guys or girls show up in WWE, they have a lot of bad habits that they do in the independent circuit where it really doesn't translate on NXT because it's more TV driven. You have to look for that hard cam. You got to know the facial expression. It's a total different machine. And I think that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to churn this machine. NXT was the catalyst. They bring in, these talents, they develop them in their image. And now with NIL, they're just taking that program and amplifying it and making it more formal at a collegiate level, which is tremendous because now college athletes have that opportunity that if they don't want to go to the NFL, if they don't want to go to the NBA, they can do the WWE NIL program. So it's a good blueprint, man.
Certainly interesting to say the least. We will be back tomorrow for a longer edition. We do the Freestyle Friday every Friday.
Freestyle Friday!
With the SK Q&A, that is where you control the conversation in the final segment of the week on the show. We'll also cover the news of the day, and you will control the conversation with all of your questions. So get ready for those, and that's going to be pretty sweet. Some other content coming along and popping off this weekend. A possible big WWE interview I'm supposed to have. We've had this guy on Sportskeeda before. He is pretty influential, and I will see if this gets confirmed. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope this one happens. But I would say it is somebody that everybody loves to hear from, and he has a lot to say, and he always leaves you wanting.
I wonder who could it be? Who?
We'll see.
I wonder who could it be.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Ooh. We'll see what happens with it. Tyler saying, "I love how Sportskeeda Wrestling lies about everything. MJF is a good friend of Tony, and no one cares about WWE.
It's a work.
It's a work.
No one cares about WWE. Tyler,
nothing's a shoot. It's all a work.
Tyler Stevens.
Listen,
Jack
we're just
Brill.
reporting what Fightful Select is reporting.
Yeah.
We're not skewing anything. We're not lying about anything. All right.
Hang on,
so
guys.
I just want to make it clear that we are just relaying the information.
It's hard for me to see the screen. My eyes are rolling too much.
That was broken to us and given to, the news outlet. So
yeah,
we're just reporting the news, guys. Take it as you want. You guys make your own opinion, but these are not lies. So
there you go. So just calm down. It's okay. These
Take
are
a breath.
billionaires. These are billionaires that you don't owe a personal obligation to. So that's okay. You can just watch wrestling and enjoy it. It's all right. And remember, just take a deep breath, as we say at the end of every episode. How fitting that we got that text right before the end of the episode. And we asked you to calm down,
relax,
take a deep breath.
It's all work.
And enjoy wrestling.
Let yourself get worked and enjoy wrestling.
Yeah. It's all work.
Talk to them.
It's all work.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.